And we're live. And we are on Sunday morning. And we have no time to waste. I want to shout out humble supporters of the Moneyline Monaco podcast. Goes a long way. Threw up a podcast Friday. Nothing took. Don't know what happened. My producer, which is me, blew it. So we gave out 5 picks for 30 minutes and talked to ourselves. So we're here to do it again real quick. And of course, I will throw them up at Moneyline Monaco on social, at Alex Monaco on Twitter. Let's get into it. Sunday morning, 5 picks. Going to go a lot faster here with the breakdowns. Just in lieu of the time we are up against, get you updated lines on the Sunday morning as well. It is a fascinating slate. We're going to start out in an emotional purchase, but a purchase necessary, and that is the LA Chargers off a humble L, in which in Harbaugh land, back-to-back losses do not exist. Back-to-back dog does. And you look at the down double digits, national television in the cold, SoCal Soft Club last week, battling back, almost stole it, came down to a patty last possession, had to make a NBA move, quite frankly, little hezzy to get the ball to Kelsey to move the chains to win the field goal and the game. This is no Chargers team to take lightly. Now, you got to take a little bit into account here with the Tampa Bay Bucs. All right, you just beat the Raiders, the Giants, and the Panthers. You needed overtime to beat the Panthers. You didn't cover in all 3. The betting trends in this one is the Chargers are 4-1-1 against the spread in their last 6. They've also covered 7 straight against the NFC South. My biggest angle in this one, since we got to be short here, is Baker's thrown 4 picks in the last 2 weeks against teams drafting in the first 5 draft picks. He's thrown 4 picks. You cannot do that against the number 1 defense in the NFL, who's also, oh, by the way, top 5 in turnover differential, who, oh, by the way, is at home. And a cherry on top, this Bucs pass D is garbage. Bottom 3 pass D in the NFL. You're going to sit here and take the Bucs on the road? Why? They aren't tougher. They don't have a better trenches. They're off 3 lackluster opponents, and you got Harbaugh, who, again, remind yourself, I've been correct backing and fading the Chargers quite a bit on the show throughout the season. I'm a recovering San Diego Chargers fan. I know when to back them. I know when to fade them. What did we do last week? We backed them. What did we do in the Harbaugh Bowl? We faded them 2-0 on the program. Here, I'm telling you, lay the 3. If it moves to 3.5, get off it. We are taking the San Diego Superchargers, former. All right, let's get to the Battle of Pennsylvania. Put it on a magnet, because if you go by history, we got no shot. But if you go by this year, we got more than a shot. I can't sleep if I lay 5.5 against the number 1 cover in the history of the league as an underdog in Mike Tomlin. I can't do it. I won't do it. Mike Tomlin is a 65% cover as a dog between 4 and 6 points, 5.5 as we speak. Shout out Action Network for the great trend. In the Battle of Pennsylvania, just to paint the picture, Philly has won 10 straight. The Eagles Fly have won 10 straight, and they've covered 9. But are we going off history, or are we going off this year? Because if we're going off this year, the Steelers are 5-0 against the spread as a dog. And oh, by the way, 5-0 straight up. They are 5-0 in 5. Remember the theory. And it's normally AFC North capping. If you're getting a number, if you're getting points, you take the points. And in a Pittsburgh battle with a lot on the table. Now, you got to factor in scheduling. 3 games in 10 days is Roger Goodell disgusting. But in all seriousness, you got a no time to waste Steelers team, no nonsense, need to pick off one of these. And if you got to go to Baltimore next week, after you already beat Baltimore, you know the history of the Steelers-Ravens. It's 1-1 so many years. It's take the dog with the points so many years. And we were correct in that thinking, and they won 18-16. Well, they got to steal one. And I'm not saying they go into Philly and steal one. But if we're doing pendulum swing, and I do a lot of metaphors in this betting world, and I talk about putting the bumper lanes on at the bowling alley in betting. You got to bob, you got to weave. What you saw last week isn't necessarily what you're going to see this week. But Philly, let's just call it what it is. A little bit of wedding crashers rule number 6, drawing attention to yourself in a negative way, AJ Brown. You're on a 2-month win streak, and we're causing Sirianni Italian drama. I got questions you don't have answers for. This is a club in Pittsburgh that doesn't mess around as far as protecting the ball and turning the ball over. They're plus 17. They're top 3 in the NFL. They're top 5 at stopping key metrics on defense. So if you're an excellent team at stopping what Philly does best, run the football, is there an opportunity to sneak a little bit of value on the Pittsburgh side? Here's the scary thing. I see the splits. I got access to a good amount of information from sportsbooks, plural. We are on the public side. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't make sense. And sometimes you walk right into it. But I'm not going to sleep tonight laying 5.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin with those shades on. No sun out and he's wearing those shades? Yeah, no chance. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers with 5.5. Let's get to the game of the week. The Detroit Lions, Ford Field, hosting the Buffalo Bills. It doesn't get any better than this. And believe it or not, the line from Friday till has stayed put at 2.5. We've seen a little bit of line fluctuation, but in all actuality, 2.5 is the line that sticks. This is, again, a number 1 top-tier game and a brutal spot, if I'm being honest, for the Buffalo Bills. Now, Buffalo as a road dog this year is just 1-2 covering. This is one of the best at home, cozy in their spot. I'm going to hit you with a 1-2, and I think we go 2-0 here on this thinking. We were excellent on Thanksgiving. If you go back from Thanksgiving on, and then you also sit here and go, all right, the Lions with extended rest here versus a team that shows you if they can't stop the run, they're a different breed. And you saw it in LA on national television. The Bills, great metric here. Run D allows the 3rd most rushing yards before contact. 3rd most rushing yards Buffalo's D allows before contact. Very troubling when you're talking about a top tier run scheme and an elite offensive line. I've always said it. You can name 3 offensive linemen if you don't play Madden on very few teams. And I can do it with Ragnow, with Decker, and Sewell off the noggin with the beanie on a freezing New York Sunday. But if we go track meet in this game, I'm leaning Lions. 52 twice, cleared 40 plus 4 times. You got the Bills off a track meet, by the way. An exhausting 44-42 loss. The Lions are the 5th best run D in the NFL. So let's just say Josh Allen can't get the run game going with Cook. He isn't cooking, all right? That's Josh Allen being an absolute animal for 60 minutes against one of the best complete teams in the NFL on the road? On the road? Look, the Lions, no thanks to the Vikings and the Packers nipping at their heels, have no room here. You got McDermott, one of the most swept under the rug, mediocre decisions I've seen in the history of recent coaching. A middle schooler playing Madden. Sorry for 2 Madden references and 1 capping. Knows you're down 2 scores with 3 timeouts. You don't burn a timeout, or you have to get the onside kick. And if you know the algorithm, you don't get the onside kick. You never get the onside kick in Madden. And what does McDermott do down 2 scores on national television? He goes for a 1st and goal run play when Brady's on the mic telling you don't do that. Then he burns a timeout. Then you watch Josh Allen's entire body language go dejected because the whole wide world knows, except for the man being paid millions to run the team, McDermott, baby back decision, cost the Bills the game, cost the Bills the 1 seed. I don't want to hear ish in January when Buffalo goes to Arrowhead and catches a fat L. And here we go again. You go back to Sunday night against McVay at SoFi and thank McDermott for nothing. You want to talk karma? You want to talk Dan Gamble versus this McDermott character? Look, McDermott's a nice person, all right? Clearly he's likable because you don't do that in the animal kingdom with millions on the line and have no repercussions. One of the worst coaching decisions that I will not forget for years. When the Bills never win the big game, remember McDermott's coaching. That's all I got to say. And it carries over against a top 5 coach, company culture, leader of men, and X's and O's dude in Danny Gamble. You want to go dog on dog? I'll go for 4th down. You go for 4th down. Eyes closed. Give me the Lions. I will take the Detroit Lions to the bank. And Buffalo is down bad on a 2 L's in a row. Where are we in the room on the Bills? We're nowhere near confident like we are with the Kansas City Chiefs. Last thing I'll say on that, Shanahan did know the new overtime rules in the Super Bowl. And Andy Reid was prepping in August for a play for overtime in the Super Bowl. And you think McDermott is going into Arrowhead and beating that system, that level of coaching, exceptional detail, leadership, and flat out focus? Nah. The Bills, again, a cute story in the regular season, catching an L again. I got a lot to say about that man, McDermott. We took a little 5-minute break to go in on that. Let's keep it pushing. On the back end of that, we got to take the Green Bay Packers in an unbelievable spot here. I don't like it. I absolutely love it. And you got to sit here and factor this in. Okay? 2, 3, no, 10. 10 sleeps off a cover, but not win against Detroit. The Packers brought everything in the 34-31 L, and they lost, but they covered. This is a say it out loud game. The Seattle Seahawks have won a month of football. Are the Seattle Seahawks good enough to win a month and some change of football? I did the exact same thing with you with the Arizona Cardinals, who are a fraudulent warm weather club that, again, cute story going nowhere. I'm not saying the Seahawks are going nowhere. I'm saying there's a hierarchy in the NFC, and they are in the back seat, and the Packers are in shotgun. So you beat Arizona twice, the Jets. Oh, by the way, you give up 21-2.5 by Broadway intermission. The Jets put up 21, and Aaron Rodgers never thrown 300 yards all season. Jets team puts up 21 on this Seahawks team, and you feel comfortable about them today? The reality is this Green Bay Packers team has lost 2 times in 9 weeks, both to the Detroit Lions. Are the Lions on the other side today? No, they're not. This team is 7-2. In the last 9 games, they've lost to only Detroit. Great wager talk number because I listen to everything. Green Bay since 2022. Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur relevant. 5 times they've been on a road following a game where they put up 30 the week before. 5-0 against the spread. I don't think the Seahawks are aware what's coming to town. How many teams can put up over 36 times in this league in one season? Like 5? And Green Bay's one of them. Top tier spot here. Less than a field goal. Buying a team who's buttoned up, going to the playoffs off an L. Selling high off a Seahawks team that is not capable of winning 5 straight weeks. It's an ultimate letdown spot. You want to go shootout in this game, you're going to lose. You want to go dog on dog? I don't see Seattle showing me a brand of physicality that is a long time gone from the Legion of Boom. Packers are +9 in turnovers. Seattle's -4. Jordan Love hasn't thrown a pick in 3 games. Guy was leading the league in interceptions for 2 months of football. All right. He's starting to take better care of the rock. Favorite play, if I'm being honest, on the board. Favorite play. Green Bay Packers -2.5. We wrap up the show on Monday night. You got to sleep to think on this. This one, I don't feel good about at all. But I'm backing a number. I'm backing a team playing each other. Teams playing each other 2 times in 4 weeks. And I think the Bears left food on the table in that overtime L against the Vikings. You go on a 17-3 run. You want to call it Vikings pedal off, whatever. Worst pick I've had in 2 months was probably backing the Bears with the points at San Fran. Terrible rookie decision on my end. I got to wear it. Couple of rough sleeps. But before that shellacking and no one showing up thanks to Thomas Brown, this Bears team went on 3 NFC North weeks, losing by 7 total points. and we're getting 7 points of the book. And we got Caleb going 7 straight weeks without an interception. 7 straight weeks. Put the Vikings-Atlanta game in a one-off calendar. 10-second Tom it from 51st States. Men in Black it. Get it out of the mind, because that was an emotional against Kirk non-prime time. Atlanta is cooked game. Okay? Listen to this. Minnesota's offense is untouchable? No. 7 games. They've put up more than 23 points twice. 7 games, 23 points or more twice. That's not Nails offense. That's not top 5 offense. No, that's literally Connolly, entourage, head coach for the Vikings. We always say it wrong. This dude is that good with McVay. He's that good. So I sit here and I go, all right, this is a reality check for this. Not McVay, O'Connell. This is a reality check for the Minnesota Vikings. Gut check game for the Bears. Divisional game for the Bears, 7 points. This should be a relaxed, as if you want to call it, pressure-free game for the Chicago Bears. All the pressure, believe it or not, was how are they going to do after Eberflus got canned? Now it's just play ball. Now we're getting 7 points. Now we got a lot of pressure on Minnie, not to mention if the Lions take care of ball, if the Packers take care of ball. So we got to sleep to think about it, but I'm going to take the 7, and it reminds me a little of the Thursday night Thanksgiving game where we got 9.5, and the Bears were down early, came soaring back, showed fight, showed dog, showed toughness, and almost won the game. That's the kind of game I'm hoping for. Now, Flores obviously can come with all kinds of scheme, all kinds of blitzed packages, and we could get cooked. But I'm going to just take the number here, and historically a spot where if you're getting 7 in the divisional dance, I mean, is this not Raiders Chiefs-esque? Raiders covered. I'm not telling you the Bears are going to win. Bears going to cover. Bears +7, Packers -2.5, Lions -2.5, Steelers +5.5, public side, Chargers -3. Appreciate you rocking when we started about the technical difficulties earlier in the week. As always, don't forget to hug your mothers. We'll see you next show. Ta-ta, real smooth.